Lesson 2. Basic syntax and variables. Python syntax. In Python, code is executed line by line, from top to bottom. One of the most important things to remember is that Python uses indentation to group blocks of code. Unlike many other languages that use curly braces, Python relies on whitespace, usually 4 spaces or a tab. This helps make code cleaner and easier to read. Also, remember to use the hash symbol for comments. Anything following a hashtag on a line will be ignored by Python. Comments are great for explaining your logic or marking sections of code. Variables. Variables are like containers that store information. In Python, you don't need to declare the type of a variable. Just assign a value and Python will figure it out. For example, if you write age equals 25, Python knows that age is an integer. If you write name equals, single quotes, Alice, single quotes, it's a string. Keep your variable names meaningful, and avoid starting them with numbers or using special characters like @ or %. Use lowercase letters and underscores to separate words. This is called snake case, and it's the Python standard. Data types. Python supports several basic data types. The most common ones you'll use are integers for whole numbers, floats for decimal numbers, strings for text, and booleans for true or false values. These types are essential to understand because they determine what you can do with a variable. For example, you can't add a number to a string directly. You'd have to convert it first. We'll talk about that next. Type checking and casting. You can check a variable's data type using the type function. Just pass the variable inside the parentheses, and Python will tell you what type it is. You can also convert variables from one type to another using functions like int, float, and str. This is called type casting. For example, converting an integer to a string allows you to join it with other text. Just be careful. If you try to convert a non-numeric string to a number, Python will throw an error. Practice this to get comfortable with how Python handles data. I will execute this code first, followed by an explanation. Let's take a closer look at this Python code to understand its key features. The first few lines consist of comments, marked by the hashtag symbol, which serve to explain what the code does. In Python, comments are not executed. They provide clarity to anyone reading the code. Next, we see a print statement that outputs the word hello to the console. Then, we introduce some variables named xyname and vote, which represent an integer, a float, a string, and a boolean, respectively. In Python, you don't need to specify the type of a variable when you create it. Python automatically infers the type based on the value assigned. We then encounter an if statement that demonstrates how Python uses indentation to define blocks of code, unlike many other programming languages that use curly braces. As we can see, the text "this is inside the block" is printed only when the condition is true, while "this is outside" is printed regardless, due to its placement outside of the conditional block. Next, the code uses the type function to print the data type of x, illustrating how you can check the type of any variable. However, for the variable y, it demonstrates how to convert the type information into a string to concatenate it within a print statement. Finally, we see the use of an f string, which allows us to embed variable values directly inside a string. Here, it beautifully formats a message that includes both the name and the voting status of the person named Eve. Overall, this code serves as a practical introduction to variables, conditional statements, type checking, and string formatting in Python.
I'd rather go to hell than heaven with